Hello and welcome back to our video where we are looking into Introduction to Medical Statistics in R. So in the previous video, we had loaded up the Penda Health dataset and we had run some of the code that they had provided us with. And now we want to explore it further and see what more we can do. So in this case, I will start by reloading the libraries like that. And we had reached here where we had looked at the age column, and we saw that the age column was a character, which I said it doesn't allow us to do much of analysis. So in this case, we had done some cleaning, and we were left with age in years column. So if I do class visit info, and I want to look at the age in years, you can see right now it's numeric. That means we can do some basic analysis. So in this case, we will use some pre-built functions in R to look at how the data looks like. So some of the basic things you want to understand is the mean and the median, which will help you figure out what the distribution looks like in our case. So if I do mean, then I do visit info, age in years, we can be able to see that the mean age is 21.6. All right. So if I do that, so if I do the median age, let's see what that brings up. For age in years, we're able to see it's 24. Okay. So now we have a sense of how our data looks like, but this is not enough. So let us see what more we can do. So another pre-built function is what we call summary, which gives us a basic summary of what is happening within our data. So in this case, my focus still is on the age column. And I want to say, let us get a summary of all the age in years. All right, so over here, we can able to see, we're able to get the mean value, the minimum value, the first quantile value, the median, mean, third quantile, and the maximum value. So I'll just copy that over there. So this means you are heading somewhere. So we are able to appreciate more and more how the data looks like. So what about visually? How does this age in years distribution look like? So one way to go about it is you can use ggplot functionality. So let us say we want to visit info, and then we want to use ggplot. Then we map the aesthetics of the age in years column. All right. Then we add. We want to look at using a histogram to look at how the data distribution looks like. So histograms are a good way to visualize how the data looks like. Okay. So over here we see we have two distributions from the data. We have this one over here and then this one coming over here. So again, this one raises your eyebrows and makes you appreciate how the data is distributed. So you can see that we have sort of this pediatric age and then this middle-aged kind of area of how the data has been distributed. Okay, so some interesting stuff. So let us see if we can get more out of this and look at how the data is distributed, maybe by gender. So one way we can do that, let's say it's ggplot still, and then we say aesthetic, and we want to use age in years. Okay. Then we continue further. Let us say we want to fill. Let's fill. So the age in years we want to fill. Let's see if this is work by gender. Let's see. So gender, I think it's a gender column. That's how it's written in our dataset. Yes, the gender. And then we still want to use geom histogram for this. And for that, we want to, so it's giving me some clues of how I should proceed. So the position, I think we want to stack by identity. You can say identity, and then I can say alpha 0.5, and then let us say the bin width, how wide we want our columns to be. So that's bin width. Let's say 5 as well, and see what happens when you run that. Oh, great. So here we have our distribution with a much better appearance, if I may say. So if you compare this, let me just rerun that. This is how our distribution initially looked like of age in years. So because we wanted to dive in much deeper, we said we want to look at it in terms of also on gender, and see how the genders are distributed within this data set. So when you do that, we can see we have more females, and they make up a majority of this distribution, especially in years, and then male make up this distribution in years. So you can see the male ones over here and the females one over here. All right, so at least now we've done something which has helped us to appreciate the data. We've looked at the mean, we've looked at the median, and then we've gotten a basic sense of how the summary looks like, and a bit of visualization to help us appreciate what the data has. So in this case, we know that number one, the data has two distribution, a pediatric distribution, and an, let me say, adult, middle-aged adult kind of distribution. And then the second thing is that the genders have an interesting distribution with more female within the adult distribution. All right. So next we will continue further. We will run this code and move on to what the team at Penda Health did, and dive deeper and deeper to see what the data has.